Wherever you are in the world, welcome to another edition of Jerry's Take on China. Some people are connecting what's happening in Gaza to dire warnings or predictions of what might or could happen in Taiwan. Comparisons between Taiwan and Palestine are far removed from any truth or reality, and here's why. So when media starts reporting things such as Taiwan is watching the Hamas-Israel war closely as it faces intimidation from China, it's something that needs to be placed in some kind of context. There is absolutely no equivalence between these two issues. What Israel has been doing to Palestine bears no resemblance to anything going on in China. One Twitter or X poster even compared the situation to the Japanese invasion of China, saying China went to war with Japan and many innocent Japanese died as a result. How twisted is that? Japanese soldiers did invade China. Chinese military did resist the invasion. Chinese civilians, hundreds of thousands, probably even a million or more, died as a result. But China did not enter Japan and kill children there. Only the US killed innocent children when they bombed Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So let's just get that one off the table straight away. Only a twisted mind can convolute this into any kind of a story. First of all, Taiwan is part of China, and the world recognizes this. Israel is not part of Palestine. It was inserted there. Palestine is not part of Israel, although it is being absorbed by it. A Palestinian in Gaza or the West Bank knows hunger, poverty, unemployment. There is a large degree of hopelessness, and in the case of Gaza, the world is currently witnessing that there's nothing left to lose. No one in mainland China or Taiwan feels these deprivations. Now, many Jewish people will argue that the land was promised to them by God, and it says so in the Bible. So whatever the Bible says, or however you want to interpret it, it's what happens here on earth that really matters. There is no God that would sanction the actions that are occurring now, is there? And for most people of the world, UN resolutions adopted for the majority of peoples here on earth override biblical contracts made between God and one group, especially when people who believe in that same God can't agree on the interpretations of his words. And not everyone believes in the same God or any God. So on earth, Palestine has a right to self-determination in a land they call home. UN Resolutions 181 and 2334 say so. I'm told it's anti-Semitic or anti-Semitic to criticize Jews, but then when I go online, I see Jews criticizing Jews. In fact, it's getting worse. I'm watching Jews being arrested for criticizing Jews. Where does this stop? We can criticize a Chinese person who strikes or kills another person without being xenophobic. We can criticize, for example, a Kenyan who hurts an Ethiopian without being racist. We can criticize an Arab who hurts children without being Islamophobic. Surely it's possible to criticize a Jew who murders someone without being anti-Semitic. There is very little criticism on the mainland of China about Taiwan, and there is very little criticism in Taiwan of the mainland. There are political differences, of course, but if there is criticism on either side, it wouldn't be a problem. People aren't being asked to leave their jobs. They aren't being asked to apologize. And unlike a certain well-known Uyghur dissident and genuine terrorist supporter, they aren't being asked to retract their statements in order to keep their CIA funding. And contrary to what Western media might tell us, people in either China or Taiwan aren't deleted from social media for complaining. What's more important is that Taiwan and the mainland actually support each other. No one needs to throw rocks at tanks. No one needs to worry about being shot by snipers in the streets. No one on either side of the Taiwan Strait needs to rely on international aid just to get water and food for the coming days. It's all well and good to call Hamas terrorists, but did every member of that organization wake up one day and decide, I know what I'll do today, I'll become a terrorist? And the answer is, of course not. Some of them lost a parent, some lost both their parents, some lost a brother or a sister or a child. And I know from personal experience, this is not something you recover from easily. I lost a child to cancer. It hurts every day when I think about it, and I both fear and hate the thought of cancer invading any other member of my family. But even I can't imagine the feeling of losing my child to a bomb, a sniper, or having them taken away by human invaders. Cancer is an invasive disease that usually hits one person in the family. This war, according to Amnesty International, is killing entire families. This doesn't just create martyrs, it creates terrorists in those left behind. Many people who disagree with me will tell us that Palestine brought it upon themselves. But if we want to know why Hamas are defined as terrorists, why they did what they did, we need to ask ourselves, what made them wake up one morning and make that decision? What would we do under the same circumstances? Taiwan is completely different. There's no incarceration except for criminals. People are free to move around in any way they want. They can apply for and get a passport. They can and often do travel to the mainland and other places. They start businesses there. In fact, there are many successful Taiwanese businesses on the mainland already. How many successful Palestinian businesses exist in Israel? Mainland China and Hong Kong account for 42% of Taiwan's overall business. Palestine, on the other hand, relies on billions of dollars of international aid and food just to provide water to its children. The threats Taiwan might feel or the fears of an invasion that they might have are nothing more than media headlines and politicians' rhetoric. The threat a Palestinian feels and fears on a daily basis is very real. If you can't see that, then turn on your television. It's there, right in front of our eyes. It's not Hollywood, it's not a movie. If you live in Palestine right now, this is very, very real. Taiwan, on the other hand, is gearing up for another general election in a few months to see if they can have another term of being a US puppet, or to establish if they can once more have constructive dialogue with the mainland, their largest source of trade. There is no equivalence between these two issues, none whatsoever. Thanks once again for watching Jerry's Take on China, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.